Alright, so today I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing this thing down, get the intake off, everything situated to get the LSA on. That's what I ended up finishing, or what it ended up, excuse me, looking like. So I just painted the cover, matched the kind of bronze of the car. Like I said, it's the same one that I ported. Like I said here, I didn't do, like I said, you seen the other video, I didn't do too crazy. I just tried to take down that flash, smooth it out a little bit. Got my new gasket finally came in. I went ahead and put the injectors in. And I noticed you should be able to put it on without, having injectors, with being able to put it on while the injectors are in, since the holes are there. So I just went ahead and put that in, fuel rail, bolted it down. Yeah, everything else is on pretty much. So I'll worry about the evap line, all that stuff later. Another thing I did, I took the brick out, and this inside of the lid, I took some sandpaper and went through that whole inside of this lid, this here, because it also has that casting flash, that kind of rough, like this, that rough piece here. So I went through and smoothed it out, just some fine grit sandpaper, wet sanded it down. Yeah, that might at least help the airflow a little bit more smoother, just something else to maybe give me a little extra power, or better cooling to get the air in and out. So I'm gonna go ahead, start by going in the trunk, disconnecting the battery, and I'll head back up front and go ahead and start getting the thing situated to take the intake off. The next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and release the pressure from the fuel. I'm just gonna remove this cap. Should be a straighter valve underneath. Just gonna poke that little valve. That'll release pressures in the line. Just like that. I'll put the cap back just so I won't lose it. And then I have a little tool to get the quick disconnect fitting off. Just pull it up. It's kind of like a lock to keep it in place. You just simply put that on, slide it back, and pop it out, and it'll get that off. I'm gonna cover this. I need to use 2 hands, so I'll come back. I got that. You probably have a decent amount of residual fuel still, so I just leave the rag right there while that drains. See, this is the thing for my ankle. I'm just gonna tuck that down there for the time being. I'm also gonna zip tie these heater hoses over here for the time being, just so they're out of the way. And then I'm gonna disconnect all the injector plugs. I'm gonna disconnect those. The map sensor right here in the front. This evap. Which else? I may have to disconnect the evap line coming to the actual evap purge from the tank. That would be this one right here. This one's coming from that firewall, that line right here, the plastic one. It's kind of wiggling. That one's coming from the tank, the vent from the tank to the evap purge solenoid. Of course, once that's activated, it routes it back around here to the intake. So I'm gonna disconnect that one. I'm gonna go ahead and get the vent from the valve cover. The vent tube is coming from the valve cover on the passenger side to the intake tubing. I'm gonna get that off, and I'm also gonna go ahead and just take the intake off here, just this tube. I'll probably disconnect it about here, leave the rest, and I'll come back after that's done. All that should be pretty simple. Like I say, just plugs. It's these little pull tabs for the injectors. I'm gonna show y'all as far as the injectors go. It's this little plastic lock that's over it. You slide it back, it'll snap up, and then you just use the back side of it. It's a little tab that holds it on, a little hook tab that's on the injector that holds it on. So when you push on this back side, I don't know if you can really see, but the bottom end will kind of lift up. You see that little piece in there lifting up? And that's the hook that actually hooks over the tab on the injector. So you just push the back side, and that'll kind of pull that up. And you can pull it straight out. And you see that's the little hook that's right in there. See if it'll let me focus. I don't know if you can see it too much. There we go. That little hook that's in the middle of that slot. And that's what this little piece hooks onto. So once you kind of push this back side, it'll lift up. I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all. I'm not even gonna take the fuel rail off. I'm just gonna unbolt the 10 bolts, unbolt the injectors. The one vent hose that's right here. I already did the map. Do that vent hose. So I'm gonna do that hose, and the back should be the booster hose. And I believe that's it. I'll have to look to verify though. All right, got the intake up. I didn't disconnect the brake booster because it's hard to get to back there. So I know that's the only thing that's connected in the back. So I just lifted it so I can pull it forward a little bit. That'll give me better room to get to that, to get to this clamp. That clamp right there that's holding it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that, and then it should be good to go. There it is. It literally took me the amount of time it took you to watch up until this point. Probably add 5 minutes to that. That's exactly how long it took me. Like I said, it's pretty simple, straightforward. I'll go ahead and at least test fit the LSA base on it. See what how it's gonna sit. See what kind of interference I'm gonna have with these coil packs. I heard I probably have to relocate these coil packs, so I just kind of want to see how. All right. So here's where I am so far. I just set it up here, like I say, to test fit it. I actually might not take it back off. Didn't have too many issues. The coil packs. I'm gonna have to figure something out for that, because I think it's gonna be too close to the fuel nozzles. So I may have to figure out a way to lower that. I know Bone Crusher used I think CTSV valve covers, and they positioned the actual coil packs lower, so I may do that. But for now, like I said, I'm just kind of test fitting it. I may be able to actually just make something to lower them down, or even if I could just maybe get a couple of spacers and somehow like bring them out some. That should give me enough room to clear. So I may do that, try to do that instead. But like I said, we'll see for now. The evap sensor was right here on this bracket on the front of the passenger side manifold. I went ahead and just took that off and removed that bracket. Actually, you know, because it'll end up here. Took the brake booster off. The brake booster hose, which was right there. I went ahead and took that off. You know, that one will be up here. I already ordered that one. Let's say what's over here. This is the map sensor, so I'm gonna have to get an extension to run that, because it's gonna end up over here on this side on the actual lid. This one is just blocking this off. This isn't gonna do anything. There was also another one. I believe this one's on the lid, but here's one. Where is it at? I did already put it here. That's the map. I know it's upside down. I'm sorry. It's this port right here. On the other side of that was actually where that sensor that I just showed you on the actual Supercharger was on this side. I know it's upside down, but it fits just like how the map sensor did. It was here, but that's just like an atmospheric port. See this hole right here? It actually just shined. It just I think on the D's or the Z01s it compares something with the atmospheric pressure. So in my case, I won't need it. So that's why I didn't even plug that one. I just left it, painted it. Can't really tell. And I took the plug and put it here to block the holes here, because that's not going to be used for anything. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna do for now. Also, the steam vent, I did have to bend it, so I had to kind of bend it a decent amount down to get it to cover. I mean, this thing's pretty flexible though. I don't want to bend it too much though, but see, that'll work. I got it to tuck right under, and I was actually looking at replacing these with an aftermarket kind, but for now, like I said, it's just pretty much a test fit to see how everything's gonna fit. And I may go ahead and put show you the accessory drive setup I have. All right, this is the accessory drive setup I got. It's from LSA Concepts. It was $340. This is pretty much everything that comes with it. Is the tensioner, comes with the belt, bracket, mounting point for the tensioner. Have all the hardware. This is a pulley, and of course it has the instructions and some stickers. This is pretty much a one pulley setup, one tensioner setup that should allow me to, run it without having to run, all the normal, the pulley here, having to get the pulley there and all that. It's just a lot more streamlined setup, and it's going to leave me a lot more room. If I use the other setup, the normal setup, I wouldn't be able to have my oil catch can there, or probably my reservoir. So I'm gonna try to use that and see. I'm gonna go ahead and move this stuff out the way so I can show you the install for it. All right, the first thing the instructions tell you to do is, this is gonna be the mount for the tensioner. It's 3 bolts. Tells you to Loctite them and mount this onto the water pump. It'll go right here. See those 3 bolts, 3 holes that are normally just clear on the water pump? That 1, 2, 3. It'll mount right here. It'll mount right to those 3. That's how that'll go. All right, that's the end result. You have that piece there. Torque those down to 15 foot-pounds, those 3 bolts. Next step is this little puck. This goes on the piece that's there. This little indentation, that little hole there needs to be at the 7 o'clock position. So you have 2 guide holes, guide pins, one there, one there. They'll go in those 2 holes, just like that. Like I said, make sure that's at the 7 o'clock position. All right, so what it has you do after you put that block on and the circular piece, it actually has you put the belt on. It's tight enough where you actually had to get the 24mm bolt, the crank pulley bolt, put it on the top, and just kind of had it started on that side. I actually had to crank it, kind of wind it on, wrap it on by turning the crank. I mean, it's decently tight now. Then it tells you to put the tensioner on. It's loose right now. Don't put the actual pulley that goes on the tensioner on. You're gonna put the tensioner on, tighten it down, and it actually recommends you have 2 people, because you're gonna have to actually, which is where you put the socket in. You actually put that in there, pull it till it's fully tensioned, and then you're gonna have to put that, put the pulley on. And it's also a little, this little piece for the pulley, that silver piece there, that kind of washer thing that slides inside. So while you're pulling the tension on the tensioner, you're gonna have to somehow get to the back side of this and slide it in, which I'm assuming is why I recommend you use 2 people. Like I say, it's already pretty tight enough, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty hectic trying to get in there by yourself. So I'll come back once it's done. I'm just gonna install it. Now I'm gonna end up taking it off because I'm gonna change the oil on the supercharger. You know, I shouldn't need to, but I think I'm gonna change it anyway. So I just wanted to show you guys this setup. So this is the system I was talking about. See, it's just pretty much 1 pulley right there that provides tension. Like I say, it's pretty darn tight. I don't think I'm gonna go down much anyway on the belt I have to see, so I shouldn't have to worry about any belt slip.